Hello everyone, it is I, Jules, here with Ben from What Culture Gaming, and we're here in Sweden. Technically, we're here in Gothenburg to kill the Batman. I think.
No.
No, we're not. We're actually here to play Need for Speed Payback, courtesy of Ghost Games and EA. So thank you very much for sorting that out for us.
Yes.
We've just played the game for about an hour and a half, I'd say.
Thereabouts.
Some of the story mode and some of the open world areas. And now we're going to give you a tasty slice of our mind cake in the form of first impressions. So Ben.
Yes.
What did you think of the game?
Honestly, I struggled a little bit to begin with the handling.
Okay.
I think because it throws you straight in with the more powerful cars. They're the kind of cars that if you hold down accelerate and then try to steer in any direction, you'll just spin immediately. So once the inevitable fall came, which is what the whole story is centered around, and you have to start with your Volkswagen GTI.
Mark 1.
Oh, Mark 1.
Yeah.
Oh, you better believe it.
My friend actually owns one of those, and that has 4 gears. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't drive, and I know that isn't good.
It goes 0 to 60.
That's it.
That's it. So yeah, that was once I got on the slower vehicles, and also once I was able to switch to the first-person perspective. So you're at, not when from in the car, but like
literally
on the front, on the I much prefer that view. So if you're seeing some footage of that, I apologize if it doesn't really show off the car. It's just the only way I can play this game. But generally, very positive. Not too sure about the story at the moment. They've gone all in on it, but we'll get into that more in a minute, I think.
Yeah, I would say that in terms of the presentation of the game, I mean, you cannot fault EA for that. They always kick out the numbers when it comes to how a game looks and how a game sounds. And I will agree that the handling of the cars at first was quite jarring because I was expecting it to be much more floaty, but it was a lot quite grounded. I would say it's a mixture of arcade and simulation, which is strange, but it does work in the game's favour once it slows down.
Because I wanted to drift desperately because I want to be a real race man, right?
I mean, look at him; he's built for it.
I'm a race guy, right? I'm a big, what do they call them? Wheelheads, right? I know cars.
A wheelhead.
A wheelhead.
Okay, yeah.
And it took me quite a while to realise that actually pre-GTA 4, you know, you'd press R1 to skid and it would literally just be right angle.
Yeah.
It's that in this. So I was trying to anticipate corners and press the handbrake beforehand and then just going straight into the corner. So you have to literally be on the corner and press handbrake in order to slide around it. That took a little bit of getting used to, but once you get there, I was fine, and I have been enjoying the driving ever since. I
as well have been enjoying the driving experience, and I really liked it when they started opening out the different types of option, because it's very city focused in the first sort of like 45 minutes as you get through the prologue, but as soon as it opened out into the sort of big expanses, it's massive. The bit that we're at the moment is this kind of derelict airfield, and that is drift central. I'm loving it. I am loving this bit. Like, I felt that the city purposefully felt a bit constrained because it wanted to then be like, wow, here's the open areas.
And yet it still felt quite alive. I was driving down one street and there was traffic going, there was a plane taking off and stuff, and chatter on the radio and all sorts of stuff. The world feels alive.
Which is hard for racing games to do, actually, because a lot of them actually think that it's just about the cars and just one big circuit, but you have to make the world feel believable if you're going to invest time in it. And this one actually does feel quite cool. It's very nice. The soundtrack's bumping, by the way.
It is.
Run the Jules, Hellboy.
Don't know what that is. Wheelhead, though. So that's my area of expertise here. I again, going back to the story, because one thing that was stressed to us before we started, and we'll also be chatting with one of the devs as well, I'm sure, about the story, was that lots of Need for Speed players want story. They want a reason to play. It seems like they're really giving it a good go here. I'm personally not incredibly overwhelmed by the story at this point. It is early in the game, but it seemed like it really got, because the whole game's called Payback, but within the first half an hour, it's like, now you're getting payback. It's like, oh, that was like almost no build, and I'm not really invested in the characters yet. I don't really, okay, all right. I mean, the driving's fun. And again, it's sort of GTA-ish in that you go to an objective and there's a cutscene, and that's nice, rather than just getting there and then something plays over your radio saying, hey, Morgan, we need you to go to the airfield, and then you go to the airfield. There's actually a cutscene that plays out in-game. It's, again, early in the game that we've experienced. The story is there. It seems like it's going to last, a good chunk of time. And then you've got all this open world stuff as well, if you're not really into that.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with you on the story being a bit sort of The dialogue was quite expositionary. Like, it was very much like, hey,
But if you go back and watch the first Need for Speed film, then it's cliche central.
And that's maybe what I think they're actually trying to go for, because they have stressed that this is meant to be action movie, the game. They have stressed again and again that there's meant to be movie moments in it, and there are a lot. So maybe they are just saying that this is going to be a very kind of wheelheady action film. And you know what? I'm really enjoying it. I didn't expect it to be a cerebral storyline, and I don't want it to be one either. I just want it to be you there, go race, go smash, go have a crash.
The house always wins.
I hope that.
It's not a gamble if you win.
I mean, I would say that they have a character called the Gambler, and he mentions cards and coins and stuff.
He's got a real name as well. He's introduced with a real name.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like...
The Gambler.
The house always wins.
The house always wins.
There's the bad guys called the house, just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very cliched, but it doesn't really need to be anything but that. It can be, and I don't want to call it dumb, but you know what I mean in that sense. It can just be overblown and quite daft, and it's just fun. Yeah. Like, you've got your small crew of guys that are your friends, and you're going after the house after they wrong you at the start, and yeah, that's pretty much all you need. And then there are cutscenes along the way to push you along, but then every distraction under the sun, just like Burnout Paradise and various other open world driving games recently, like drift challenges and speed challenges and all sorts of other stuff like that. Race cards. Speed cards.
Well, that's what I was going to say about the customization. The customization in this game seems to be doing something. It's probably the most interesting feature about this, in that, and I know that there's a lot of controversy at the moment about sort of randomized sort of loot, as it were, but there are randomized upgrades in this. You compete, you get to flip over a card, and it randomly assigns you some sort of upgrade, be it for your acceleration, your brakes, and things like that.
Handling.
But they have different types belonging to different classes, so you could get an outlaw head upgrade, you could get a speed unit brake pad. If you get 3 of the same type, it gives you extra bonuses. So it encourages you to find the sets and then complete them. And I thought that was quite a nice feature. I'm tired of games like GTA, Gran Turismo and Forza, where it's just kind of like, here's the most expensive thing, therefore it's the best. Everyone ends up with the same car. I like the randomness of this.
Yeah, and when I don't know if you looked at the customization of the physical elements of the car, but as you were going round, I hadn't really unlocked anything but side skirting.
Yeah,
and as you were going around, it said
over loads of jumps, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah, exactly. It said, you know, you go to the wheels and it says, oh, complete 3 drift challenges to start unlocking stuff for this, and you go to the spoiler and it says, oh, you got to do a couple of speed challenges to start unlocking stuff here. So it's nice that it's not just day one. It's like you got to buy stuff. No. It's time for currency. Here comes the currency. You've actually got to, it encourages you to play the game and do the challenges to make your car what you want it to be.
It's effectively locked progression as through standard racing games meets randomized upgrades, which gives it longevity. It's kind of a mixture of both, isn't it, really? I'm really interested to see how it plays out for the long term, because it seems that's what it's been designed for. It's not been designed for somebody to be, here's £100, I can buy the best car. This is like, oh, I might get this, something good. I have to keep racing to see if I can get better at it.
Everyone's car is going to be different. That's the important thing. And
my car had eyes.
Yeah, I haven't got to the point where I could have eyes yet. I had to keep pausing it and going into the capture software to cut it down because it was recording too long. You can't export a 7 GB file onto a memory stick. It won't. There are copy limits. It won't let me do it. So I have to spend a lot of time splitting and cutting and exporting. That's my morning.
So there we have it. You've learned the term wheelhead, and you've also learned that you can't copy 7 GB.
Wheelhead is, I know it's gearhead.
No, it is wheelhead.
It's wheelhead now.
Yeah, it's
been established.
Well, for all of your other wheelhead needs, stay tuned for more coverage from us at the What Culture Gaming team. We'll also be sending out an interview later on, and possibly even some more content. So be prepared for more Burnout style, needy for speedy, greedy. Yeah, kind of lost a bit of energy on that one, but never mind. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments below, positive or negative. Your choice.
No, just positive, please. Why would you even give them that option?
As always, I've been Jules.
And I've been Ben.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.